Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be breaking down the Thunder's 113-99 win over the Sacramento Kings. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so the Thunder are going to win the tip, and they're going to get into a set called Horns. And so Horns is essentially where you have primary ball handler up top, you have two offensive players on the elbow. Sometimes they'll be up here above the three-point line, but normally you open Horns with both offensive players on the corner, or not in the corner, on the elbow, and then you have your other two offensive players in the corner. And so you can kind of get to multiple things off of Horns, kind of confuse the defense. You can either go left off of the set or you can go right. Again, just keeps the defense guessing. The Kings are in man-to-man defense right now. And so Shai's going to set a ball screen on DeRozan. Dort is going to come off of the screen. Wallace is in this opposite corner. They're going to do a handoff, and Wallace is going to come off of it. And then Hartenstein is going to set a screen, and Chet's going to try and get an open look here on the elbow. There's the handoff. Hartenstein goes to set the screen. Hartenstein disengages from the screen. Chet does a nice job of getting his defender in the air, so he uses the pump fake effectively. Westbrook does a nice job of being in help defense here, but it's just too late for Chet. He gets a nice layup. Okay, so for this next play for the Kings, gonna get the ball to DeRozan. Gonna get the ball back to Westbrook. Westbrook's gonna attack downhill. Shai does a nice job of moving his feet and staying with Westbrook, staying on that hip. Chet also does a nice job when he sees Westbrook trying to attack the paint. He's already here trying to play really good help defense and block anything that comes inside the paint. Chet has a good closeout. And now the Kings are just trying to scramble to get anything going on offense. Trying to slip the screen. Waltz does a nice job and getting a nice closeout in for a good contest. Okay, so for this next play, again, the Kings are in man-to-man defense. It's also important to note that the Kings are switching everything on ball. So anytime the secondary defender, his man is setting a screen, they're just going to switch everything. And so you see here, they switch. Shai now has Chet's original man on him. Shai does a nice job of beating him off the dribble here. I really like this move. A lot of high-level guards do it. It's called, I don't even know what it's really called. It's just a nice way to get past your defender and make sure he's not hand-checking you. You see, I think Chris Paul did it a lot. That's where I see him kind of use the move. But as you see, he's going to just get his hand off of him. He's going to swipe at the defender's hand right here. It's going to allow Shai to beat him off the dribble. And as you see here, he picks up his dribble. So we have 14 coming to help, which is Hartenstein's man. So Hartenstein's going to crash. And Shai already sees Levine coming up, so he's also playing help. And Wallace is spotting up. So Shai does a nice job of directing traffic here and kicking the ball out to Wallace for an open three. Okay, so the Thunder are going to run an ATO with Shai and J-Will here. An ATO stands for after timeout. Again, it's a design set. They're using the Kings, you know how the Kings are switching everything. Well, they're using that. The Thunder are using that to their advantage. And so instead of J-Will instantly rolling out, he's going to occupy Schroeder here. Shai's going to get J-Will's man on him. They're going to throw an entry pass. So now you have a mismatch, so it's going to force this defender to help, obviously because of the mismatch. And Carlson is just going to crash inside due to his defender playing help defense. So you see his defender comes up to help off Schroeder. Carlson's going to crash. It's going to lead to an alley-oop. Okay, so the Kings are going to open the second quarter in a horn set as well. It's 27-25. Thunder in man defense. So again, horn set. You have here, and you have your two corner guys. So the shooter's going to come off of this. He can come off any way, but he's going to come off this way to his right. AJ Mitchell's going to chase shooter off the screen. Chet's playing help. He's going to kick the ball back out to here. To number 9. Chet has a late closeout. And then Hartenstein has to come pick up. And just going to dish the ball off to Eubanks in the paint. Caruso is reading this really well. Like he knows this pass is coming here. He has DeRozan flaring out to the corner, but again, you rather give up an open 3 as opposed to a wide open layup. So Caruso's like a second late here. He sees the pass is happening. His hand's right here. However, the ball is able to get past Hartenstein. It's a good pass by 9. He's able to get a layup. So in this next play, the Thunder are just trying to get some pick and roll action into it. Caruso is actually going to reject the screen. So what I mean by reject the screen is obviously, not obviously, but normally the person with the ball, they're going to attack and use the screen. However, a lot of defenders will try and overstep and try and cut off this driving lane and just fight over the screen. So you can use that to your advantage. Again, DeRozan is obviously doing that here. He's being aggressive off the screen as he sees Hartenstein's coming. DeRozan's already shifting his feet and trying to fight over it. Caruso sees that. He's going to reject it. And now you have Hartenstein rolling off of it. Kings do a nice job of collapsing the paint and playing really good help defense. As you see, you have Shooter here cutting off this pass to Wallace. And you have 9 also here in case the ball gets back to Hartenstein off the roll. So really good help defense by the Kings. Everything's cut off. Releases it back to Mitchell. Now Mitchell and Chet are going to run their own pick and roll here. Chet slips the screen and he's just going to roll this way while Mitchell comes this way to occupy both defenders still. And it leads to the alley-oop. Okay, so Chris is going to bring the ball up to three-point line. He's going to kick it back out to Mitchell as the release player, but he's also going to set a screen, and it's going to allow Mitchell to attack downhill with his right hand. So you see he beats Westbrook to the spot. Again, I really like this from Mitchell. He's going to go off of his wrong foot, or at least what I call a wrong foot. So normally when you go up to a right hand layup, you're jumping off of your left foot. However, if you go off your right foot and you go up with your right hand, a lot of defenders they don't know the timing when you go off of your right foot. It allows you to take a further step, and it just throws off the timing again for a block. So you see here, it goes off the wrong foot, and Westbrook isn't able to block this shot. Now he still gets a really good contest because Westbrook's a freak athlete, but if he takes another step and goes off his left, this is easily getting blocked. But instead, goes off of his right foot, gets the ball up high above the box for a nice layup. Okay, so there's 46 seconds left in the first half. The Thunder are going to show fire. Again, fire is when you have 2 defenders coming to trap and occupy this side and get the ball out of the player they're intending to guard out of their hand. So again, Thunder are showing fire here. Shai's going to back off, get the ball to 9. I really wanted to showcase this play to give J. Will his flowers here. So again, because Shai has to get back on his man, he's a second late off of it. 9's going to rip through and attack downhill. And look who he has waiting for him inside the paint. J. Will's going to set up perfectly for a charge. Again, does a really nice job of making sure he's outside of the restricted area. So if J. Will tries to get a screen in here, or not a screen, if he tries to draw a charge in there, it wouldn't count. He has to be outside of this zone. Does a nice job of drawing it, and now the ball's going the other way. Okay, so the Kings start out with ball in the second half. Let's start the second half. Westbrook's going to set a screen on Dort. DeRozan's going to come off of it. He's going to curl the screen. Again, they're going to fake the handoff. He's going to curl it, and he's going to now set a down screen on Dort again, and Westbrook's going to come off of it, hoping to get an angle and attack, get a little pick and roll going for the Kings here. Comes off of it. Dort does a nice job of going under the screen because Westbrook isn't as much of a threat from the three-point line. So now Westbrook has Dort on his hip. Caruso does a nice job of getting ready to help if they need him, which he is, or which they do, excuse me. It's a really good pass from Westbrook here. Good block. Chet tries to get the ball back. Look at Dort, he's already anticipating it. DeRozan doesn't get the ball, and he's able to swat the ball out. Okay, so the Thunder are going to get to one of their favorite actions, which is the go screen. They're going to run it with Dort and Wallace here. So Dort's going to flash like he's going to set a screen on Levine. Instead, he's going to pop out right here, and Wallace is going to attack downhill, which is what you're supposed to do in the go screen, especially if this defender bites on it as well, which DeRozan does. Wallace is able to beat him off the dribble for a nice layup. Okay, so for this next play from OKC, again, they're going to come out in Horns formation. Shai's going to get out of formation though, and Dort and Hartenstein are going to set a double screen for Shai to come off of it. So that's good screens. Hartenstein's able to get his initial defender onto Shai, so he has the mismatch, which attracts Westbrook now to have to play help in case he beats 42 off of the dribble, which he does. And I want you guys to remember this play because I'm going to show another play here in a second where DeRozan has a very similar situation that he's in, but it leads to a turnover. So as you see here, Shai beats his man off the dribble. Right there. I want you to watch this move very closely. So he picks up his dribble, right? Normally when you pick up your dribble and you're penetrating the paint, obviously if you're going for a layup, normally a lot of offensive players, what they'll do is they bring the ball to the side of them to help with their momentum and help them get a good lift off to jump and accelerate. But Shai does a really nice job here of keeping his dribble low and the ball low, so that he puts the ball out in front of him and he doesn't put it in harm's way where a defender can steal the ball. Instead, he's able to get a wide open layup. And also another aspect of this play is I want you guys to watch Hartenstein here. So he sets the screen. This is kind of like, I want to call it like a Gortat screen. What that is whenever the initial ball screener, he's going to come back in the paint and he ends up setting a screen on his man so that when the initial ball handler attacks, now there's no one in help really because this man's being sealed off, and so he can't get anywhere if Shai attacks. I would really just consider this a really good seal by Hartenstein here. So you see he kind of gets Schroeder here and a nice seal, which leads to a really good layup. Okay, I just said DeRozan. I actually meant Levine whenever I was telling you about the last play where it leads to a turnover. Okay, so I'm gonna rewind a little bit. Eubanks is gonna set a screen on Mitchell. He's gonna come over here. He's gonna get the ball. Mitchell does a really nice job of fighting over the screen, as you can see. Now watch. It's kind of a similar situation. Now, granted, it's not in between two defenders, but it's still Really good closeout by Mitchell. Or actually, take it back. It is with 2 defenders. See, Shai comes off it to help. Now watch. LaVine is going to do the same. He's going to do a low dribble here to get in between both defenders. But watch what he does. He brings the ball back. As you see here, he's going to bring the ball back. And Mitchell's able to get the steal. That's what separates Shai and LaVine here. Just those little details. Right? Shai's play led to 2 points. LaVine's led to a fast break turnover. If LaVine keeps the ball out in front of him, right here, more than likely he's either getting a floater with J. Will contesting, because J. Will's coming up, or he has Eubanks here for the alley-oop. Instead, it leads to the steal by Mitchell. Mitchell has really good hands, and that leads to a fast break. Okay, so for this next play from the Thunder, they're going to run a twist action with Hartenstein and Mitchell. Going to get the ball here. Hartenstein's going to set a screen on Westbrook, but Westbrook's going under the screen. Here's where the twist comes in. He's going to go behind Westbrook and sets the twist screen. And Mitchell's going to attack Eubanks to drawing a foul. Okay, so Caruso's going to try and get out in transition. He's going to kick the ball out, release the ball back to Wallace. Wallace is going to attack LaVine off the dribble. You see right here, LaVine's hips open up. He's able to get through. And DeRozan's a second laid off help to contest the shot. And also it's worth noting, when Wallace beats him off the dribble, he's going to go off the wrong foot again, because he goes with his inside hand. As you can see, if Wallace goes with his left hand, that ball is getting swatted. But instead he goes through his inside hand and is able to get a nice clean layup in. Okay, so for the last breakdown, you know I had to include a Shai ISO. And so Dort's going to set a screen onto Schroeder. And again, the Kings are switching everything on ball. And so now, because the Kings, obviously their best defender is going to be guarding Shai initially. And so now you have DeRozan, who's a significantly weaker defender, onto Shai, who's our best player. And so Shai's going to get to his spot, going to get a step back in. DeRozan's going to get inside his landing zone, which is an automatic foul. And Shai's going to finish over the top of him. But yeah, that'll wrap up the video. Again, the Thunder finished 113-99. Which is a nice win over the Sacramento Kings at home. I really like the debut of their City Edition jerseys. I'm definitely going to have to grab one. Also, I think this court design is probably the coolest in the entire NBA, so I'm a huge fan of that. But just really proud of these guys. They jump out to 15-1, which is just an outstanding record, especially for them being the defending champs and doing all of this without Jalen Williams. Again, hoping we see him come back here soon. I'll be breaking down the Thunder's next game versus the Utah Jazz. I believe they play Friday night, and I'm recording this Thursday night. So I'll try and get this video out to you guys probably around Friday morning. But yeah, if you guys like the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe. Now also leave some comments. Again, I'm open to recommendations. So if you guys have any advice, feel free to share that in the comments. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video.